on,
Get
here.
your paycheck right here, buddy.
Well, too late. Well, thank you, Mr. Ha. Well, I wasn't scheduled to talk today, for obvious reasons. But that has never stopped me before. Well, many families have tried before, okay, such as limit my speaking part, put in the phrase, few comments if you'd like, and for everybody else but mine. They also leave me off the program. But as you can see, it doesn't work. Besides, the shy introvert guy like I am, I need all the public speaking practice I can get. Okay. So wow, the Magnificent Seven. 7 Eagle Scouts in one city. That is an awesome, awesome event. It's like the Haiti Comet come maybe 75 years. I hope this doesn't take 75 years for you guys to repeat this. Anyway, there can only be one word for this occurrence, and it's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though it sounds quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, what?
You'll always sound precocious.
I'm sorry. I got a little carried away there because, I went to this one wonderful program last night and saw 3 of our Eagle Scouts in the play, and they were wonderful. I have never thought of this. I thought all of those times that they were in the shower at the camp singing, didn't know it came out to this. Awesome. Even though they were a little bit rusty on the back then. But anyway, perhaps during the reception we can get them to do a rendition of Step in Time. So I would love to tell you a story that I have told many times before, many Eagle Court of Honor, and this is probably the last one I'm going to use. And this is similar to what Mr. Ha and Mr. Ray will be telling of the Call of the Eagle, but this one titled The Legend of the Eagle Mountains by Mark Ray. Early one morning, 7 young boys stood at the trailhead. Before them rose the mighty mountain, which seemed all mightier when compared to their smallness. The trail led to the mountain, then up an incredible height before vanishing into the clouds. On the trail, the boys can see other boys and young men, some of whom turned around and beckoned them to follow back down. The boys began to climb, refusing perhaps to believe that they could never reach the top. At the first trail rose gently, the boys had many companions, but soon they began to sweat and breathe heavily, and many of their companions turned away. And still, these boys climbed. At times they climbed quickly, at times they slowed down. At times they had to go a little bit down before they can even go up, or stop to catch their breath. But still they climbed. The trails became steeper, the air thinner. The climbers scarcely noticed that they had gone a long way, and their body became stronger and hardier in spirit. They climbed. And finally, in the cool peace of the evening time, they stood alone at the top of the mountain, atop of the world. Look around them. Behind them, they saw the fiery golden sunset. To the right, they saw the diamond-studded black silky sky. Behind them, they saw the trail that they had followed and the hikers who were following their footsteps. And in front of them, they saw another mountain, and another, and another, and the whole procession of mountains marching off into the horizon. But these young men, for now, they are men, knew that none of these other mountains are insurmountable, that all could and would be climbed, for they have learned the many skills in climbing of the first mountain, that they would carry those skills with them along the mountains, even though it was forgotten. And besides them, they could begin to climb the next mountain tomorrow, but this afternoon, they would rest and celebrate and ponder the journey that they had completed. So this afternoon, we pause and rest and honor these fine young men. Eagle Scout Nicholas Sturgis, Kyle Elliott, Winston Ng, Vedanth Gopalakrishnan, Jackson Neal, Rishi Karthik, and Alex Carruthers, as they stand on top of the world to look around them. I remember these gentlemen well. They are part of the Thundercats and the Blackhawks. We used to call them the Thunder Kittens. They didn't like that too much. And the Blackhawks, I couldn't come up with a good one, so sorry. I have the honor to know most of them and their buddies since they were 7 years old. Look at them now. Some of them even got things that I can't even have. Would never have. This is the last class of the boys whom I've come to know and grow and learn from. Remember the statistic that says the number of Scouts made it to Eagles? Well, 4% of all Scouts made it to Eagle. For these guys, Nick, Kyle, Vedanth, Jackson, and Rishi, along with Stephen and Brian, tonight, you guys are 7 out of the 9 original members of Thundercat who made it. That is good. And then once their other buddy, Jarrett, dragging his feet, made it, then it would be 9 out of 10. That is an immense honor. In our troop, there are only 2 other patrols that have that honor. The Rams, the trademark back in the old days, old. They set the standard of cohesiveness. The Rams got 9 out of 10, while the trademarks have 8 out of 11. So you guys stand amongst the few, the proud patrols, that actually have a lot of your friends' ego. Yes, I have the honor to know these young men and their families since they were Cub Scout in Pack 38 and as their Cub Master, and some of the others as their Scoutmaster. They have always been overachievers. They earn activity pins, awards, merit badges. Or is it their moms that actually earn it? Probably so. Let's put it this way, I have not known any of them to be serious. None. As being a conscientious Cub Master, it was my duty to continue to make them laugh. Okay, so I tried to make them laugh. A lot of the time I wish they would laugh with me, not at me. But, you know, there are always those times at the camp out where we stand and sing favorite songs. So why don't you guys stand up and help me out? Come on, stand up. We're going to sing for the audience for our favorite song. Come on, closer. Come on. I haven't bitten you guys, or nor will I invite you guys. Okay? We're going to sing our favorite song for you guys. Ready? On the count of 3. God bless my underwear. I only bear. I have worn them and torn them by the seat of an old rocking chair. From the washer to the dryer, to my backpack, to my rear. God bless my underwear, my only pair. God bless my underwear. Without them, I'll be bare. And yes, you guys have endured my dry sense of humor and my ill attempt to embarrass you. That's why my last act, I continue to embarrass you. Ladies and gentlemen, these young men are leaders by examples. They would set trends. Not the ones that I would like them to set trends, but they set trends, nevertheless. One trend is to relieve themselves at the restroom. Not. They would discreetly disappear into the woods and emerge all relieved. I usually like to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and then sit there quietly in the crisp, cool night, drinking my cup of coffee, enjoying the quiet. And I would see shadows emerge from tents, running quickly to the back line. And as you can see, it's steam just arises from the ground. Yes, Kyle. Seriously, these gentlemen have grown a lot since I've known them. They have become great leaders and can take leads. They are great scouts, and we will get into the memories later on. That's a little bit later on, so you guys have to wait. So as you can see, for every scout I do this, about 4 pages, just 7 times 4, that's 20, you know? So that's why they left me off the program. Right, Mr. Sturgis? Okay, anyway, I talked to several of the scouts, and they didn't think much of me as an Eagle Scout. They didn't think that it matters. The rank means much more later on. But I can tell you, it is not true. Being an Eagle Scout is an important stepping stone, a revealing characteristic of each of the candidates. It says that you have made a decision early in life that the 12 points of the Scout Law and the Scout Oath mean something to you, and you would use it as a moral compass for the rest of your lives. Now, that is a powerful message, and the Eagle rank speaks volumes. The Eagle rank may just be a rank in Boy Scouts, but it's a powerful statement about the person who earned it. People still respect it, the process the Scout go through in order to achieve the ranking. But before I let Mr. Ha and Mr. Ray go back to the original program, I want for you guys to know, and the rest of you all to know, y'all, sorry, that's many of you, all y'all. I'm from the South, deep South, South Vietnam. So anyway, yeah, it's really deep. I mean, it's closer to the equator than anything I know. So anyway, so I want to let you guys know about my top 10 reasons why I'm in scouting. Number 10, my home office was empty, and I needed to add a bunch of stuff in there. Number 9, I get to wear this cool uniform. The chick loves the uniform. At least that's what my wife says, after she told me I need to be the den leader. I like the smell of off. I get to race pinewood derbies against your dads. That was the highlight of my scouting career. I'm allergic to household chores. And you guys will develop that allergy once you get married. I get quality time with my sons and 130 of their closest friends. Number 4, once upon a time, it was a great way to collect expensive coffee mugs and baseball cap. Some of you guys know what I meant. Number 3, Mrs. Pham honeydew list is getting way too long for me to keep up. Number 2, definitely for the pay. And number 1 reason, it takes an hour a week. Forgot that per boy, exactly. But all seriousness aside, I guess I didn't catch that one. Okay. Tough audience. It is because the following memories that would stay with me. The number 1 reason is that it was my oldest son, Michael, who got me hook, line, and sinker into becoming a den leader when he came home with me after the first den meeting and said, "Dad, I want to grow up to be a den leader just like you." Number 2, it was Patrick and Stephen who would say after every den meeting, "That was fun. I can't wait until the next den meeting." 3rd, it was a young Bear Scout who cried when I stepped down as a Cupmaster. 4th, it was a young first-class scout who told me in the blue, "Mr. Long, thank you. To this day, I am oblivious what he meant." Thanks, Vedanth. Oh. It was young Star Scout who told me, "Mr. Pham, we miss you in the troop." When literally a little bit after I retired from the troop. Thanks, Kyle. It was a young naval ensign who stopped his truck in front of my yard and said, "I was in town. I drove by and was hoping to see you." And he proceeded to hug me. And we talked as we were old friends. It was a letter or emails that I got like this one. "Mr. Long, I figure you appreciate this story. I've been running a veteran education program here after school for a couple of weeks now. While I was sitting there eating dinner late one night, an older woman fell to her knees in the corner of the room. people start asking her what was wrong, but she couldn't respond. I looked over, someone had just asked whether or not she was choking, to which she looked up and nodded. I immediately ran over and performed a Heimlich maneuver. She was good to go afterwards. I haven't gone around shared this story with many people. But someone asked me how I felt, how I knew the Heimlich maneuver. It dawned on me that I only had to learn it in Boy Scout as when I was a kid. So by extension, thank you for all that you're patient as a scout leader when I was growing up, and thanks for all the lessons you taught us. Situations like this emphasize how much I learned from the truth. It was a text that I got from a young Marine Sergeant. Just want to send you a reminder that I appreciate everything that you have done for me, Mr. Pham, and many other stories. These are the reasons why I'm in Scout in General. No one is prouder of you guys than I am, other than your parents. This is the first time I actually get a little teary. But the best thing about it is I got a chance to serve as your Cub Master and as your Scout Master. I got a chance to see you grew from young, brash Cub Scout to outstanding young Eagle Scouts and men. In closing, I want to remind you of a great advice I heard last night. Hold on a second. Does anybody know how to work technology?
The candles are catching
You have
fire.
Wi-Fi, Mr. Pham?
No, I don't need Wi-Fi, but here we go. Okay. Whew. Oh, here. Where was it? Okay. Jackson, come up here and help me. Actually, Alex, come here and help me too. And where's Mr. Ray?
He's on back row.
Back row. Come on, Evan.
I want them to remember you guys, gentlemen, remember one thing and help me out here. All right? I heard this last night. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Anything can happen if you let it. Some things are difficult, but you can bet it doesn't have to be so. Changes can be made. You can move a mountain if you use a larger spade.
Thank you, gentlemen. I knew there's a way to get them up here and sing. Gentlemen, continue to set your goals and reach for them with all your effort, and you have done with your ego. But don't forget, rest, celebrate, and ponder the journey that you've completed today, and climb before you climb the next mountain. Remember what I've said to your predecessors. You have learned it, you have earned it, now go live it.